Hello students, welcome to our session, and today we are going to learn about chapter number 16. Name of this chapter is Importance of Air. All living organisms which live on earth, they need different things for live their life. They need food, they need shelter. They get nutrients, all type nutrients from the food. Food is very important for them. Like this, they have also other necessary which they want to live their life. And in them, air. Air is also very important for them. In our this chapter, we have topic like presence of air around us, components of air, how air important for us. As we all know, we need oxygen when we breathe. When we breathe in and we take out carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide which we take out, carbon dioxide will be taken by the trees, by the plants, because they use it during photosynthesis process. They release oxygen which is very important for us. Without oxygen we cannot live our life. So like this, they use carbon dioxide and release oxygen, and because of this we can get oxygen easily. So our textbook, we have different topics related air. You all are familiar with air. Air is present everywhere around you, and I. Everywhere air is present around us. Have you ever seen air? Have you ever seen air? No, we cannot see. You cannot see air, but you can feel its presence in many ways. We can feel air because it presents everywhere. Air moves from one place to the other, and always one from one place to other. You can feel the presence of air when the leaves of trees rustle. Also, the clothes hanging on a clotheslines, when air is moving, we can feel the air is moving there. You inflate balloons with air on your birthday. When you switch on the fan, the pages of books, newspapers, and magazines starts floating. Also, you inflate air in the tire of your bicycle. You can fly a kite in the sky because of the moving air. Now, Uttarayan will become on 14th January. You all wait for air because of the air, our kite will fly in the sky. We cannot see air, but we can feel it. You might have heard that a storm uprooted trees and flew and blew off the rooftops. Why it is happened? It is happened because of the storms. A heavy air is called a storms. You must have played with pinwheels. They are available in different size. A few are shown in figure 70.1 and 17.2. You can see here different types of pinwheel. We all play with like these toys. A pinwheel rotates with moving air. It tells the direction in which the air is moving. You can see here in figure 17.2 also a weathercock. A weathercock. And for north and as for south, we all know about this. Have you seen a weathercock? Have you ever seen the weathercock? It is shown in figure 17.2. You can see here. It also tells the direction in which air is blowing. In which air is blowing. Now, atmosphere. There is a thick blanket of air that envelops the earth completely. There is a thick blanket of air that envelops the earth completely. We, at our present time, we all face cold atmosphere in winter season. When we want to protect ourselves from cold atmosphere, cold weather, then we cover our body with blanket because it gives us heat to our body, and we can survive against the cold weather. Like this, a thick blanket of air that envelops the earth completely, envelops the earth. This covering of air is called atmosphere. And this covering of air by the air to the earth is called atmosphere. Air has, now we go on our next page. Air has no color and air is transparent. You are now already familiar with transparent. You can see through it. We can see through air, so it is called transparent. It has no smell or taste. It has no smell or taste, but its presence can be felt. We can feel it. We can always feel the air. Air is matter. First, air is matter. Air is matter, it occupies space and has mass. In your previous standard, you have also learned about the air is matter and it occupies the space and the mass. It fills all the space available to it. You fill air or gas in a balloon, in a football, and in the tire of your bicycle. Like all these things have air in it. You might have experienced that on filling air in the balloon and football, they become heavy. That means where air has weight in it. We all have noticed that when we fill up air in the balloon or football, they become heavy. Take an empty glass tumbler. Turn it upside down. Is it really empty? Let us find out the answer from activity 17.1. Now we have activity 17.1 available in our textbook. Activity says to observe that an empty glass tumbler is filled with air. For this, take a transparent bowl and fill it with water. Transparent bowl and fill it with water. Take the empty glass tumbler and push its open mouth into the bowl filled with water. You can see here in step A and step B. Our figures are given here. In step A, pushing glass into a bowl filled with water without titling the glass tumbler. You can see here how the bubbles are around it. And in step B, dipping glass tumbler into a bowl filled with water. Some water filled it. Titling the glass tumbler a liter. You can see here in step A, bubbles are both sides. In step B, bubbles are only one side. You can see here both bubbles. Does the water enter the glass tumbler? You will notice that water does not enter the glass tumbler in step A. Now, till the glass tumbler, does the water enter the glass tumbler now? You will notice that bubbles of air come out and water gets filled up in the glass tumbler in step B. Actually, the glass tumbler was not empty. It was filled with air in it, even when it was turned upside down. That is why when you pushed the glass tumbler in an inverted position, no air could escape and no water could enter the glass tumbler. In the glass tumbler, the air came out in the form of bubbles and water could enter the glass tumbler. Water filled up the space that was earlier occupied by air. You can see here in step A and step B in your textbook on page number 229. This activity is available. That means an empty glass tumbler is filled with air. Any empty thing have air in it because always air occupies the space. If we cannot fill anything, any kind of water, then we can tell that air is present inside the water. Now we go on our next page. On our next page, there we have answers orally. You have to find out this answer from your topics which already available in our textbook. Our another topic is air or mixture. As I say to you, we need oxygen. In oxygen, in which state it stays? Oxygen in gas state. We also feel different gases are available in air. Until the 18th century, it was believed that air is one substance. Later on, various experiments concluded that it is a mixture of gases. Different types of gases available in the air. So air is mixture of all types gases, we can say. Air is made of nearly 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, 0.9% argon, 0.04% water vapor, and 0.03% carbon dioxide. And the remaining 0.03% are the other inert gases. In figure 17.3, we have also composition of air. You can see here figure is available. Composition of air, you can see here this our figure. Composition of air, you can see here oxygen 21% and nitrogen 78% and others. Remaining area are other gases. So air is made of all types of gases, mixture of all types of gases. In them, first is nitrogen. Nitrogen constitutes 78% of the air. It does not support combustion. Plants need nitrogen to grow. Fertilizers containing nitrogen are added to plants to fulfill the requirements of nitrogen. Plants have the ability to convert atmospheric nitrogen into soluble nitrogen components that can be absorbed by plant root. They convert the nitrogen in other states because these are easily absorbed by the roots of the plants. Then oxygen. Air consists of about 21% oxygen in atmosphere. The presence of oxygen is essential for survival of living organisms. All living organisms which live on earth, they need oxygen. Human beings and animals take in oxygen from the atmosphere and release carbon dioxide during breathing. They take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide. Plants also need oxygen for respiration. Plants also oxygen for this process. Even aquatic animals need oxygen. They also need oxygen for live their life. It is present in water in dissolved form. Oxygen already dissolved water. So aquatic animals get oxygen easily which dissolved already in water. The aquatic animals take in the dissolved oxygen for breathing. Many organisms that live in soil such as termites, earthworms, and ants require air for their respiration. They use the air trapped between the soil particles. They use which trapped between the soil particles, and for this we have again activity 17.2 and 7.3 to observe how oxygen become available to plants and animals living in water and soil. How they use oxygen, how they get oxygen. For this we have activity 17.2 and 17.3 on our next page. Activity 17.2, to observe that air is dissolved in water. Air is dissolved in water. And for this, take some water in transparent glass or beaker. You can see here in figure. Heat it slowly on tripod stand. They put this beaker on tripod stand and heat it slowly. Look at the inner surface of the glass vessel or beaker. There tiny bubbles you can see after some time. You will notice tiny bubbles on the inner surface of the glass vessel or beaker. What happens when water starts heating? What happens after some time when water get heated and starts heating? You will notice that the tiny bubbles are of air dissolved in water. On heating, the air dissolved in water escapes and gradually water itself turns into vapor and finally begins to boil. Now, first water convert its state. Water is in first liquid. Then when we heat water, it will become, after some time it convert in water vapor form and finally begins to boil. Water, animals and plants use the air or oxygen dissolved in water. That means using this activity we can say oxygen is already dissolved in water. When we drink water, we get oxygen from water because oxygen is already dissolved in water. So students, activity 17.2 shows us the observe that air is dissolved in water. In our 17.3 activity, to observe that air is trapped in soil. In soil also air is present, oxygen is also trapped in soil. But our this activity we will discuss in our next session because we have already discussed some topics from our textbooks in our this session and activity 17.3 and other remaining topics we will discuss in our next session. Till then, take care and try to read this all theory from your textbook because this is very useful for you. Okay, till then, take care.